Nepal's engines of change, youngsters or Gen Z protesters who forced Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli to resign, were powered by unlikely allies. Social media platforms, especially Discord, and grassroots groups like Hami Nepal became the unlikely drivers of Nepal's biggest political shakeup in decades. We now know that the government imposing a ban on social media was the final straw that triggered outrage on the streets. Anger against an incompetent, corrupt political class had been building up for much before that. What's different about this anger, which saw young activists turned to VPNs and alternative channels to organize themselves, has led to a political shakeup. From Discord servers to Instagram groups, Nepal's Gen Z coordinated protests, shared strategies, and spread calls for change. At the forefront, among many others, was a former DJ and founder of Hami Nepal, Sudan Gurung, who helped turn online frustration into real-world mobilization. The 36-year-old's team included 24-year-old cafe owner Ojaswi Raj Thapa and law graduate Rehan Raj Dangal. The protests quickly escalated into a nationwide movement. What started as anger over a digital ban grew into a powerful stand against corruption, impunity, and inequality. Demonstrations led by students and young professionals swept across cities, culminating in violent clashes that has now left over 70 people dead and thousands injured. The fury was so intense that Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli resigned, marking the collapse of the old guard's hold on power. But the role of Gen Z didn't end with ousting the government. It extended to shaping the new one as well. Through online polls and coordinated campaigns, activists threw their weight behind Sushila Karki, Nepal's first female Chief Justice to serve as interim Prime Minister. They saw her as untainted by party politics and someone with impeachable accountability and integrity. Within days, Karki was sworn in, underscoring how youth-powered digital organizing had directly influenced leadership at the highest level. The youth leaders behind Hami Nepal have said they don't want cabinet posts or formal political power. Instead, they want to focus on systemic change, ensuring transparency, reforming governance, defending judicial independence, and preparing the ground for free and fair elections. They view their role as watchdogs and mobilizers, not as traditional politicians. Economically, the crisis that fueled their anger remains dire. The destruction of businesses, exposure of hidden cash in politicians' homes, the lack of jobs have left many fearing a bleak short-term future. Yet activists argue that only by breaking away from a corrupt, elitist political class can Nepal create opportunities that match the ambitions of its digitally savvy young population.
It was not against a political system, but it was against a political class that remained very apathetic, very ignorant, and there was a clear disconnect between the aspirations of the people, the education of the people, and the ruling class. For example, I mean, you have a very educated, very sophisticated, emerging generation, very tech savvy, very attuned to what is happening all over the world with, the mobile phone generation. So they've seen the world through these platforms in terms of what it looks like, what's happening around the world. There's clearly a disconnect. So the society is getting more educated, whereas you have these older men who are uneducated but come from a very long political background, ruling or governing the state. So there was already this mismatch. But also the level of corruption, the level of impunity with which they operated.
The symbolism of this uprising has been powerful. Gen Z activists, often dismissed as disengaged, have become the country's most potent political actors. By mixing digital tools with street power, they have pushed Nepal into a new era where young voices set the agenda. Interim Prime Minister Sushila Karki has announced that elections will be held on the 5th of March. The first woman Chief Justice of Nepal, she is now also the first woman to lead the country. For more such stories, subscribe to SNG News, hit the like button and follow for more news updates.